Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm back. I'm back for the second time today. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the first of hopefully many Mugs and Milestones tea chat. This is something I'm planning on doing every month at this time. So it'll be the second Sunday of every month at 2 p.m. Eastern. And while we'll always have some kind of topic or something to chat about, it's kind of just a get together and, kind of talk about anything that comes to our mind. So, what's everybody got in their mug today? I got a new mug, which I think is going to become my favorite. It's almost as big as my liquid therapy mug, so it should hold a full pot of coffee. But right now, I have this wonderful light green tea with jasmine. I can't even tell you how good it smells. It smells like all you smell is the jasmine, but you don't taste it. And it's so insanely good. It's one of my favorite teas. Angela is here. She was making a joke because I pinned my link tree, my updated link tree to the top of this chat. It has my Ream stuff on there that I forgot to do during my sprints this morning. There's Jenna. She's got some coffee. And Lena, hello. Renee, it's so nice to have you here. And Sarah and Kay and Brandy. Heather's going to sit in the back with leftover Chinese. Oh my gosh. There's nothing quite so good as leftover Chinese. Thank you, Kay. I appreciate that. Jen, you are so sweet. You're so sweet. Inka. Brandy's got some coffee. Hello, Rita. You made it back. Ginger ale in a can for you. Whatever floats your boat, right? The streaming, yes, I will be setting up a streaming space in my bedroom. I do have everything set up except for I have an identical camera to here. I do want to get another mic because this Yeti does not like to be moved around. So we'll have to see what happens. I think I'm going to go ahead and get myself another mic. We'll see. We'll see. Renee's drinking water. No, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. See? Angie's having it too. Hello, Jody Jean. Heather, fixing cocoa in the mug. I wondering nano. Oh, nice. Nice. So adventurous, right? Well, this is it. You got to keep hydrated. Yes, Rita did not freeze. We were concerned. We were concerned. Hydrate or dihydrate. Oh my gosh, Ange. So yeah, so this is going to be a regular thing. So what I kind of wanted to talk about today was kind of bringing you a little up to date on what my where I am with my writing, because I know a lot of you have been asking me that, when is Vengeful Soul coming out and all of that. And because of me trying to get government funding for the Indie Author Accelerator, it was suggested to me that I do not publish until they make a decision on that, because this program that that I'm looking to get into requires this to be the accelerator to be almost a full-time job for me. So what I have been thinking about is that I'm going to finish the edits, because I am like last pass before I hand it over to Jenna, to get that done before the end of the month, and then give it to Jenna and forget about it. And then this weekend, I'm actually going to be starting here. I flipped it around so you guys could see my plotting wall, how bare it is. This weekend during virtual writing retreat, I will be beginning to plot book 2. Now, for those of you who have checked out my Ream, you're going to get a chapter, I say every month, but it'll be more than that, trust me, of Vengeful Soul, so that you guys can do it, I would love to get some feedback. I would love to get some feedback. So that is going to be on my Ream. I also have the my pen name, Lang Walsh, up on Ream as well. That is the very like not safe for work stuff. And it is not everybody's cup of tea. I totally get that. And I will be writing for that, but that will be closer to the end of the year because right now I have a huge backlist that I want to get my subscribers through. So, hey, Sarah, it's so nice to see you. Thank you for coming. Totally appreciate that. So that's kind of where I'm standing. I think what I will end up doing is doing a rapid release of the first 2 to 3 books of the Hellscape Saga sometime mid-year to early fall, like summer, late summer, early fall. Because if I get into, should I say, when I get into this program, it is going to be taking up a lot of my time because it's like really in depth. They want you to have a business plan and you have to go to networking events twice a month and you have to attend these once a week meetings and this sort of thing. So that will not stop me, however, from launching Scroll and Scribe, which is the Indie Author Accelerator. I can do all of that in the background, yet still go ahead and start so that I can bring that to you folks. So that's looking like it will probably be March. And I can't wait. And I already told the person that has been kind of coaching me through the application process that whatever their decision is, whether or not they're going to give me the funding, I'm still doing it. The funding would be nice, but I will do it without because I really just want to give back to the community, right? And excuse me, I think it would be a really great way as well to put you all in touch with people that you need to know, people like editors, graphic designers, beta readers. I was talking to Jay about it the other day. I know most of you know that, you know who Jay is, that I talk about him a lot. He's trying to break into the audiobook space, doing voiceovers. And, so he's going to be coming on board as well, I believe. We haven't really made a 100% decision on that yet, but it's going to be my way of giving back to you and taking my coaching to the next level. So I'm super excited about that. So what's everybody else up to? Kind of start dropping some stuff in the chat there and we'll talk about it. Getting into my tea because I can smell it and it's just so good. So, 2024 plans, that's kind of where I stand. I have to really go back and really look at my publishing schedule because my original publishing schedule was Ream twice a week. And, mid-February, I was going to release Vengeful Soul. And now that's kind of all, it's kind of all up in the air. It's like, because I'm dealing with the government, it's one of those hurry up and wait kind of situations, I feel this, Sarah. I feel it. Are you still freezing your butt off down there? I can't get over it, y'all. I still can't get over it. It's cold here, but this is January on the East Coast of Canada. Thank you, Jenna. I couldn't have done it without your help. Just saying. So, 2024 plans is kind of where I'm at. So I did have to kind of step back and take a harder look at my HB90 plan. Hey, Jersey, how are you? 15 degrees Fahrenheit, so cold for Texas. I bet. Holy Lifton. I can't, I'm hearing Alberta being like minus 52 degrees Celsius, which is insane, which is like skin freezing inside of 5 minutes. That's, yeah. Stay indoors. Tea and fuzzy socks. I'm just, why go out if you don't have to? But I did have to take a harder look at my HB90 plan because my very first goal was to publish Vengeful Soul and start book 2. Well, that's just not gonna happen. But it's nice to be able to just pivot it a little bit. I can still get it ready to the point where it's ready to be published and then just bank it, right? Um, but this here, as you can see, I already have a whole pile of this done because that's mostly Ream stuff. I was able to, again, bank a bunch of stuff. And I think that's kind of what my Q1 is going to look like, is that I'm just trying to streamline everything and bank as much stuff as I can so that when I start this program and they come at you with business plans and mentorships and all of this sort of thing, that I don't feel like I'm losing out on what my Q1 plans were. So yeah, I'm really kind of excited about that. Lena's saying, in the process of preparing a rewrite for your novel, 210,000 words. Wow. Wow. It's the first novel of 5, and I figured I need to do a lot more preparing than when I first sat down or when I first started to write. Yes. Well, it's a marathon, not a sprint, right? And you can always pivot. This is the great thing. You can always pivot. Like I said, I was actually planning on publishing Vengeful Soul on my birthday, which is next Sunday. And then I'm like, okay, that's not going to happen. I will publish it on my brother's birthday because he would have got such a charge out of it. His birthday is the 22nd of February. That's not going to happen. And that's okay. That's okay because I still have all of this other stuff to do. Like I have plans and I have plotting and I have another book to write. And, there's always something that you can pivot towards, right? Came to the realization that emotionally I am not able or ready to write the book you were working on. Oh, sweetheart. Yeah, I get that. It sometimes, your own writing can be very healing. It can also be damaging sometimes if you're writing something that kind of hits close to home, right? So, those are my goals above my Kanban board. What I do is I do them up in Canva, just do like an 8.5 by 11. And I have they're all butterflies. Oh, wait, I've got a heart, a rainbow, and a butterfly this time. And I put my goals and then I stick them up there with washi tape because I have a memory like a sieve. Y'all know this. And I would totally forget what they were without having to go look it up in my planner. So I put it there. Yes. Progress, not perfection. Love it. Hey, Heather, how are you, sweetheart? Yeah, we were just talking about how it's okay to pivot. It's absolutely okay. It's like I was saying to Lena this morning, this is your business. You can do whatever the heck you want. Right? You can do what you want and you can do what's needing to be done at the time. Like my plans, this whole thing threw a wrench in my plans. I was expecting to be on this program back in November. And I went through all the preliminary stuff. It was complete. And then they're like, no, we need you to do all this other stuff too. And I'm like, wonderful. Now it's looking like it's going to be the end of February before I get on this program. And that's okay. That's okay. I can just pivot. I can just redo my plans to the point of I'm just going to bank stuff. Right? I'm pretty optimistic. I know I can do it. Yes, you can. And I know it will take a long time to write, but with a good planning foundation regarding the arcs of all 5 books, I know I can do it. Absolutely. And if you are not, Lena, if you are not part of Sarah's newsletter, you need to get on there because Sarah puts out one heck of a fun newsletter, but also as well, she has a resource library that is killer. And there's some really good how to plot a series workbooks and I just can't even I'm always printing off something, like at least once a week, I'm printing off something from the resource library. Um, and I get this, Jen, right? Absolutely get this for you. And you're going to do what you're going to do, and you're going to do what you need to do where you're at in your healing, right? So, absolutely, absolutely. If you can't do long-term plans, then plan for next week, plan for tomorrow if that's all you can do, right? I mean, it's one thing to have our whole 90-day plan, and it is great, and it gives you this like nice big overall picture. But when it comes down to it, that's why we break it down into these bite-sized pieces, because then you know there's something that you can do to move the needle, right? Like I have generally on Mondays, I do what I call minimum Mondays, which I don't do any writing or editing or anything like that. I do the bare minimum because I work all weekend. I work 7 days a week. So, but Mondays are my bare minimum, and but I still have 1 or 2 little tasks that I do to move the needle. Whether that's something like, last Monday, I made the graphics for Ream. It took me 20, 30 minutes, right? And but it moved the needle for me because I was going to need them come Wednesday when I started to build the page. So it's all about moving the needle for me. Um oh, this is yes, this is I can't wait. I can't when Sarah when yesterday when I found out that you had your flip through up, and I put it on and I paused it right away to go get a drink, and I come back and I saw 47, almost 48 minutes, and I'm like, yes. Another long Sarah video. I've got a hot cup of tea. Guess what I'm doing for the next hour? Don't bother me. I love your long videos. Love it. Bare minimum Mondays are a thing. They're a thing now. And I'm a huge fan because I always make sure that I'm done anything I have to do by 2 o'clock. And then the rest of the day is mine. And I usually just I watch a movie or play a video game or play with Ziggy or just read or whatever, right? I know, right? Absolutely. Took me forever to do my tier graphics because of the neon writing. I bet, but your graphics are killer, Inca. Killer. It is a great concept. I read it first in some article on Yahoo Finance or something like that, where they were talking about that people have stopped quiet quitting and that now it was bare minimum Mondays, right? It was kind of the new quiet quitting was this bare minimum Mondays. And I really, really love that concept, especially for people like us who tend to work 7 days a week. I tried taking, you know, even just Friday afternoons off wasn't working. It wasn't working for me. When I took that week off between Christmas and New Year's, I experienced some of the worst anxiety that I have had in a very long time. And it was because I wasn't working. And the thing is as entrepreneurs, we all know that unless we do the work, it's not going to get done, right? And the fact that I took an entire week off where I didn't do hardly anything was very anxiety inducing for me. But I sat with it and I wasn't like, oh, I'm just gonna I'm gonna go and I'm gonna go back to work just to get rid of this anxiety. I made myself stick to my plan. And while the anxiety was there, I was at least able to identify it and work through it. But it was hard. Will I do it again? Probably not. I will probably not take a whole week off because it's too anxiety inducing for me. I might take 2 or 3 days in a row off, but I don't know that I would take any more than that. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. But so anyway, let's talk food. because I did say that we were going to have a little chat about, because this weekend we've got the virtual writing retreat coming up. Yeah, holy moly. I can't wait, y'all. Can't wait. I live for these things. One thing the virtual writing retreats taught me was how to plan meals. Because I was just always that person that, 10 o'clock in the morning, I'd be like, what are we having for dinner? So this weekend, actually, I've got mom is probably going to be doing the cooking. And she will cook one meal that we will have the second night in a row, right? She makes this sausage and potato casserole, which is basically it's potatoes, onions, mushrooms, and these great big sausages, which we cut up, like the kind that you would put on the grill. And a couple other things, I don't know which, in a cheese sauce. And then she puts more cheese on top because there's no such thing as too much cheese in this house. And then she bakes it in the oven. And she makes a big casserole dish, and it's usually enough for 2 nights. So that she'll do that. Friday we do wings and wings and French fries on Friday nights, because I can stick that in the oven and have it ready before Sarah's coffee chat. So it's really good to have those kind of meals that you can just stick in the oven and walk away from. I have, let me find this. I'm going to put this in the chat. This is a lady that I follow on YouTube, and she does these sheet pan and crock pot meals. And she's one of those, like, you do this all and you prep it up and you get like 5 sheet pan meals out of it, and it, goes in the freezer. I love her. Oh yeah, who she is, Jen? Yes, look. She has a cookbook out now. I have not gotten it yet, but it is on my list. And she is a complete sweetheart. Sweetheart. Like, she's too cute by half. She just really is. That's right, Sarah, because your birthday is right after mine. I am so excited for Vanessa Shaw, and I'm so excited for you for getting this book published when you haven't been able to publish in the last couple of years. It's going to be such a great feeling. It's going to be such a great feeling for you. I know it is. But she's definitely someone that you want to follow. Also, as well, this is her Instagram, but she is also on YouTube. Tanisha Greaves. I follow her. Did it go in there? It didn't go in there. Why is it not going in there? There. Oh, it went twice. It was just taking a minute. So Tanisha is Canadian. She just moved to Canada a few years ago, got her citizenship. She lives in Ontario. She lives in Toronto, and she is vegan. And she does a lot of things like hummus and chili oil and all of the good little additive things. And I love her. And she's very down to earth as well. She's very down to earth. So that's definitely someone that you may want to check out. She's not one of those people that she's like, oh, I'm vegan, so I'm better than you. She's definitely not one of those people. Yeah. See, it's like everybody knows who she is. I love her so much. And I am thrilled that she got a cookbook out. So Mandy in the Making and Taylor Elmore. Now, are they on YouTube, Jen? Because I am always trying to find some, especially anything that cuts down on time for me. I don't mind spending a Sunday afternoon prepping if it's going to give me dinners for the next month, like, okay, so they are both YouTubers. We go to Costco. That's where we get our meat. And I only go to Costco like every other month. And I do all of the prep. The meat gets packaged up into, enough for 2 people and this sort of thing. Um, that really saves time, especially like, so it's nothing for me, you throw a couple of pork chops in the oven with a couple of potatoes and just let them cook. Things that I can walk away from. And the use of your crock pot. I love my crock pot. I love it, and it's starting to fall apart. I think I may need a new one. So there's Mandy in the making, and, uh, is it Taylor? Taylor Moore? Let me see. I'm working on a channel myself that's ooh. You make sure that you give us links, girl, because all about that. All about that. Um, so does anybody have any like suggestions or anything like that, things that they do regularly to save themselves time to, when it comes to meal prep or even like meal planning? I mean, meal planning is such a huge thing that I started this quarter, has said in sprints this morning that I started this quarter planning 2 weeks worth of meals. I'm even planning out my lunches, which is big for me because I never did that before. And I'm trying to get myself to eat breakfast. Not a breakfast eater. I have a really hard time eating in the morning. And we usually have lunch here around 11:30, which, because I have a cup of coffee and it's this size and that fills me. I also know it's not the healthiest thing in the world. And so I'm going to try this coming week to have I'm gonna buy some pre-made croissants and even just having a croissant with my coffee. Um, and I'm also in my next grocery order, I've got stuff to make smoothies. I have a little Ninja, um, like single serve smoothie maker, and it's wonderful, and I love it. Um, Adult Lunchables. I do this too, Brandy. I do this too. I do one that is grapes and whatever berries are on sale that week, because this is another thing. Um, we all know the price of groceries have gone through the roof. So I generally make them up around what's on sale. So usually grapes because they're usually not too expensive here, and then whatever berry is on sale. And then in the small section holds perfectly for us 3 of these wonderful little chocolate covered cookies and a few sticks of Pocky, that I put in there. For those of you who are Canadian here, Dollarama is where you wanna be going for anything that you like that's sweet. Like these little cookies, there's like 9 of them in a package and they're $1. A package of Pocky, the off-brand Pocky, it's called Biscotti, is 50 cents. And I usually one of those will usually go to 3 or 4 of these Lunchables that I make. And then I also do the ones with, I'll cut up some cheese, some grapes. I don't cut up the grapes, but cheese and grapes, and, usually the, kielbasa that you get at Costco. If I can't get that, like I wasn't able to get it the last time I went to Costco, I would usually put another type of cheese in there. So that's definitely, and I'll make those up and they go in there, and then I'll do up ones that have like veggies in them, cucumber, carrots, grape tomatoes, and then I get the little muffin tins at the dollar store, and I'll put, Caesar or ranch dressing or green goddess dressing or something like that in it. And I'll do those up and they go in the fridge. And mom loves them because for her, they're a great grab for lunch. Um, and for me, they're a great grab for a snack because it's either that or I'm going to sit there and eat an entire bag of pretzels, which is never good. Here's another one that we could try. See, Mindy, mom, is that like, does she do meal prep and stuff, Sherry? Hello, RC. And see, this is the thing. This doesn't work for everybody. It absolutely doesn't work for everybody. I'm lucky enough that mom is just happy to have me take care of it so she doesn't have to. I usually just tell her, "You're cooking this meal on this day," and then she'll go do it, and that's great. It works for us. Um, I make sure one meal every day is the same as ramen for extra salt. Yeah. I am when it comes to my lunches, flatbread, spring rolls, or ramen, one of the 3. Because if I can take that decision away, that I don't have to make that decision, that's yeah. Okay, here's another one. Oh, I've heard of this. I've heard of this person. Yeah, Frugal Fit Mom. Yeah. That's another thing I really, really like about Julia is that her stuff is like, she tends to stick with the cheap stuff. Like she does a lot of her shopping at Walmart. So um and she also tends to do her meals around what's on sale as well. Turkey, cheese, and fruit. So do you like turkey sandwich meat? Is that what you're talking about? Um, that's right. You did get a big salad, didn't you? That's another thing that I have recently started doing when I discovered that it is cheaper. Here we have you can buy romaine hearts, which is basically just a romaine lettuce with the like first 3 or 4 leaves taken off of it, like the tough ones. 3 of them in a pack is cheaper than a single head of romaine lettuce. And for mom and I, three of these romaine hearts will make 2 great big monstrous salads. And then I will cook a little bit of chicken. I do chicken thighs, and it's actually a steak marinade. I know I've told you guys, some of you guys about this before. And I'll cook that, chop it up, and put it in the salad. And I'll make a Caesar salad, chicken Caesar salad. And that is a meal for us. And it takes me, like, I'll cook the chicken at like lunchtime or whatever, and then I'll stick it in the fridge. And it takes like minutes to make a salad because I've prepped a lot of this stuff beforehand. Um, we buy we buy shredded cheese. I don't like if I'm wanting to make mac and cheese, I will buy shredded cheese because of the time saving. I know that it's not as cheap as buying a block of cheese, but I only buy it when it's on sale. Shredded cheese lasts forever. So if it's on sale, I'll buy 4 packages and, stick them in the back of the fridge. So things like that, if you can, if it's in your budget. I mean, I'm not really big on a lot of pre-prepared food, but things like shredded cheese, like, 'cause it takes me bloody forever to shred a block of cheese, and I don't enjoy doing it, and I will do everything I can to avoid it. So buying a pre-shredded cheese works for me. Um, keto-friendly taco, Big Mac, and dill ranch dips. Jenna, I love Big Mac sauce. Um, they have changed it here recently so that it doesn't have, red dye in it. Not that I would go out and buy a Big Mac because I won't, but I love the sauce. I love it, I love it. Sheet pan, slow cooker, Instapot. I have an Instapot. I got one. I've used it twice. I wasn't impressed because to me, it's just all it is a pressure cooker, which, I used when the kids were young. I would really should have gotten an air fryer. This is what people keep telling me. I really should have gotten an air fryer. So yeah, lunch meat, unless it's around the holidays, use leftover turkey. Yeah, and sometimes you can get whole chickens like really cheap around here, like a $2 a pound, and I will buy one and I will cook it, and we will have sandwiches. We'll have roast chicken that night with vegetables or whatever. The next night we will have chicken sandwiches and salad, and then the carcass and everything goes in for soup. So there's definitely ways to do that, and I'm big on anything that'll give me leftovers I can put in the freezer, because frankly, if I've been sitting at my desk all day writing or, working the business or whatever, the last thing I want to do when 5 o'clock rolls around is stand up in front of the stove and cook a meal. I really can't do that, and I don't wanna do that. All I wanna do is creep into my bedroom with my book or my reruns of Criminal Minds or whatever, right? Because I've worked my butt off all day, especially this past week where I pushed so hard. Um, like, on Wednesday, even though I didn't do sprints that night, because my internet was in and out, I still managed to put up, like, what was it? 7 or 8 stories up in my ream. And the next day I did that again. And I pushed and I pushed and I pushed because I wanted to get this done so that I could move on to something else and I didn't have to worry about, my ream releases. And the last thing I wanted to do when 5 o'clock rolled around was to cook supper. So there's some days when you just need to pop a frozen pizza in the oven. But there are ways to get yourself a fresh cooked meal that it doesn't take a lot of your time, and it all comes down to the food prep, right? We do not. I wish we did, because we basically have 2 companies in this country that run all the grocery stores. And let me tell you, we have an oligarchy here, and it is ridiculous, the pricing that we pay because there's not enough competition. It's kind of the same thing with the cell phone companies here. We have 3 major cell phone companies in this country, and that's it. So it's kind of ridiculous. It's kind of ridiculous. But I hear that we are getting a Dollar Tree in Halifax in March. And I'm kind of excited because it's been forever and a day since I've set foot in a Dollar Tree, and I love it. I love it. I think it's gonna make a big difference because I know that they sell a lot of grocery items there, and I think it's gonna make a really big difference for a lot of people in this city about whether or not they can afford their groceries. Um, I could eat the same meals every day. I am like that too. I am so like that too. I could have, like, 5 different, like, dinners and just every day, but I try to be like, I don't know. I don't even know why I don't, because like, mom is like, "I don't care what I eat." So long as it's like somebody feed me, that's all she really cares about, and so I don't know why I stress about it. I really don't. Um, and I think that that could be part of it for a lot of us is that, we put that pressure on ourselves of having to be A, the one who cooks the dinner, right? And B, the person who has to figure out what we're having every day, and it's supposed to be something different. I don't know where that came from because, I mean, historically, people ate the same thing every day, historically. Um, Hubby doesn't care for leftovers. I love leftovers. I remember you doing this. Um, I remember you doing this last year where you made a pot of soup and he was away and you ate it for like 3 days. I think that's amazing, right? Sarah doing meal planning right now, have my recurring recipes in the Analyst app. So all I have to do is add those recipes to the week and click order and see, that's streamlined. You cannot get more streamlined than that. Unfortunately, we don't have that kind of thing here. Now, I order all of my groceries online. I will not step foot inside of a grocery store if I don't have to. But and I was showing this off, this Erin Condren meal planner that I love, and I love it, and it gives you a place to put your groceries for the week and your meals, and it was super helpful for the, I don't know, 5 or 6 bucks I spent on it. I find it really super helpful. But this, oh my gosh, I wish we had this kind of integration through someone like Loblaws or Sobeys or something here. Mhm. Mhm. I hear that this is like the ultimate in grocery stores. But just to be able to like you can buy refrigerators now that will tell you when you're getting low on milk. I mean, someday, someday we're all going to be rich and sell 1,000,000 books, and we're going to be so streamlined and so integrated, right? Um, yeah, I don't like their chicken. They're like $5 for a rotisserie chicken. They're very small. And there's something about them I don't like. I don't know if it's the spices they use. The Superstore here, which is owned by Loblaws, I like theirs, but theirs are like, I don't know, $18. It's insane. It's insane. Jenna, you need to send me this recipe. So you guys might want to jot this down. It's chicken or beef, Thousand Islands dressing, mayo, cream cheese, other shredded cheese, and pickles. My mouth is watering. That sounds so good. That sounds so good. There is a dip, and I don't have the recipe anymore, but there was a guy I went to school with when I went to college with that he used to bring it in every Friday. And they sell it at the Superstore down here in little things with the corn chips already in it. And it's some kind of like cream cheese with sour cream and then there's a layer of salsa and a layer of cheese. And then they always put peppers on there, which I had to pick off because gross. There's nothing worse to me than an uncooked pepper, especially the green peppers. But it is so good. I always get it for the Saturday of the writing retreat. So I will be kind of going down the road here and picking that up for Saturday. Air fryers are magic. Your oven died on Christmas Day and you made the entire meal with the air fryer and a microwave? I've heard this, that you can boil eggs in an air fryer. One thing that I also have that I love is I have one of those little round sandwich makers where you put like a bagel, or I use English muffins in the bottom, and then it has a little piece that moves, but you close it up and you put egg or something like that in there with whatever meat and this sort of thing. I scramble up an egg and I put salsa in there and cheese, and then you put the other part on top and you close the lid for about 7 or 8 minutes, and it makes the most insane egg sandwiches. I love them so much. Love them so much. German food shop, first ever Aldi, open a few streets away from my grandparents' home in Germany, and it's still open. That's awesome. We have a lot of ethnic grocery stores in the city. Actually, we have several Korean grocery stores. There is a little Chinese grocery store right up the road from me. Indian grocery stores are really big around here. And like you can go in there and get stuff that's so cheap. And I don't know why I'm not shopping there. Thank you for reminding me of this. Need to start using my air fryer again. Let's see. We have a 3-ingredient tomato sauce for pasta. That's super easy. Butter, onion, and canned tomato. And do you cook it down? You cook it down and then just throw it on pasta? That sounds super easy. I'm one of those people that I will go out and I will buy a bottle of pasta sauce and then I just add things to it, right? Sarah says, went to the Dollar Tree last night because I needed some containers to organize my makeup and I spent $5. See, if we went to Dollarama for that, it would probably be 15 because it's insane. So shop at the Dollar Tree a lot. Bread, bagels, mini croissants, and English muffins. Suddenly I'm starving. I love it. I love it. But yeah, if you guys want to send me recipes, you can send them off to powerplaypress@gmail.com, and I'll put them up for you on my website, because it's kind of, to me, that's another writer's resource, right? Could do it for 45 minutes or so, and then toss the onion, blitz the tomatoes until smooth, and season it with salt. Oh, so you're putting it in a blender. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Dollarama is Five-A-Rama. It really kind of is. But when it comes to things, like I said, like chocolate, like I mean, me and my chocolate, right? It's never gonna not happen. There's always chocolate in the house, and that's where I buy it because they have, for instance, mom likes Mars bars. Those are her favorite. And a Mars bar at the dollar store is 85 cents. Everywhere else, it's $2. But they also have these knockoff ones that taste exactly like a Mars bar. And there's two of them in a package for 50 cents. So why would you not? If you're that type of person and you like your sweets and you like your chocolate, I can get a package of Lindt truffles there, 3 in a box for $1. Right? We also have a Lindt shop right down the store down here, and I can't walk in there and buy 3 of them for $1. So their chocolate bar prices are the best. Like the brand names chocolate bars, 85 cents. Straight up. Straight up. Dollar Tree is technically $1.25. Well, this is the thing. The Dollar Tree sells like crafting supplies and stuff like this too that aren't cheap and crappy, as I remember. I love the knockoff stuff at the dollar store. It's really good. It tastes just like regular Pocky. Our Dollar Trees. That's right. You guys have a Dollar Tree in Ontario, don't you? Several of them. We're getting one. Supposed to be getting one in a couple months. But so yeah, you guys should definitely give Tanisha a follow as well, because like I said, her recipes, like her hummus looks so good, and she breaks the pricing down as well, like how much it costs to make homemade hummus. When you look at, if we here in Canada, we go to the grocery store, we buy hummus, and it's $4 for like a little tiny package of hummus, and she can make enough to last her for days. She eats it every day for about $2. And we're paying $3.50, $4 for it. $3.50 if it's on sale. Yeah. Rainbow Plant Life. No, I don't think that's the name. I think it's her name is Tanisha Greaves. I put her Instagram in the chat here. I'll drop it in again. Because she's definitely worth a follow. And she does have a YouTube channel now. I kind of talked her into that. I'm trying to talk her into a cookbook. Because her recipes are so easy, and things that you would think that are difficult to make, like this chili oil that she makes, you would think that it's difficult to make, but it's not. I'm not sure if that's her or not, Renee. I'm not sure, but when I'll get her YouTube link, and I will post it under the Fuel for Writers tab on my website, which should be going up either tomorrow or Tuesday morning. You're already following her, right? Yeah, she's pretty awesome. And she's very engaged with her audience. So like if you ask her a question, she's going to answer you. I really, really enjoy her content. So my loves, what would you like to see on, as part of Mugs and Milestones? What would you like to see for topics to be discussed and stuff like that? And do you want to keep it to once a month, or would you rather have it like twice a month? Or, is this a good time for y'all? I really want your feedback. And Ziggy is snoring. I'm surprised y'all can't hear him. I'm surprised you can't hear him. He had a rough night again last night. Can we just stay in chat all day? I would love that. I do have to make some supper for Mom. She's still in bed. I'm not unconvinced it's not the new strain of COVID. it's acting like it. But she is no better today than she was yesterday. So I'm making her stay in bed and away from me because I don't have time to get sick. Ziggy Tales. Okay, I have a Ziggy story for you from last night. So mom always cleans Ziggy's litter box right after supper. But of course, last night she was in bed, supper time. I brought her in her supper. She had her supper. About 8 o'clock, I'm sitting there watching TV in my room, and he comes in and starts yelling at me. And he wouldn't leave me alone. So I got up off the bed and I'm like, what do you want? And he led me in to the back porch where his litter box was and just stared at me. So I cleaned his litter box, and the second that the lid was back on and I stepped out of the room, he's in there. Like, honest to God, he's so funny. I get such a kick out of the way he communicates. I've never had a cat that communicates with me like Ziggy does. It's crazy. It's crazy. So that's a good time for you. And yeah, it's a good time for me too. We can definitely talk about this. This is my jam. This is my jam because I've done the working full-time and writing right up until, for most of my life and right up until a few months ago. So yeah, she will get there. She will get there. But the thing is that she catches everything. She catches everything. Past stories and future goals. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, I love that you guys are loving this time. Oh, he is so cheeky. He is so cheeky. I can't even. And he is, Yolanda. Well, he's half Maine Coon, right? Which they call the dogs of the cat world for a reason. He's very much like a dog. Very much like a dog. Right? Like it wasn't clean anyway. I mean, he gets it cleaned every day. It's not like he has to. Books. We could talk about books. We could talk about books. I would love to know things like what do y'all read and this sort of thing. And I do not get to read as much as I really want to. I have a bunch of books. I mean, I have a TBR that's like, it's insane. Of course, y'all know what I'm talking about. And it's just, don't tempt me. I have enough on my plate, Kay. Don't tempt me. But yeah, I mean, what I will probably do is I will probably put a form up on my website so you guys can throw us like, suggestion box. Ooh, scary movies. Scary, like classic scary movies, like your Freddy Kruegers and your Jason Voorhees, and like really cheesy, campy, scary movies. Love it. Provide representation in books and movies. That's a tough one. That's a tough one because there still is not, I mean, unless you are an LGBTQ writer, there's really not a lot of representation. And usually when you get a straight person writing a queer character in their book, the queer becomes their entire reason for being, There's a show that mom watches. It's a British show, and I cannot remember the name of it. It's some murder mystery type of show, and they have a lot of queer characters. And the only thing about them being queer is that they're queer, right? It's not a plot. It's not part of the plot, right? Which is kind of, I find that the British shows are like that. You get that representation without it being the only reason that they're there. Angela's like, I'm out, Renee's, and I'm in. Yeah, I know Ange doesn't like the scary movies, but we're not going to be showing them. And me and Angela be hiding behind the sofa, right? I do love a good scary movie, and I'm having a hard time finding a good scary movie on Netflix or Prime. I mean, usually you can go to a channel like Tubi or Roku for like the classics, like your Nightmare on Elm Street. I watched it's not a reboot. It's almost like it's a sequel to Candyman the other day. And I mean, it was okay. It was okay, but there was no Tony Todd. I mean, Tony Todd is Candyman, right? And it should have been him. And it was okay, but it wasn't anywhere near as good as the first one. It really wasn't. I think the numbers. Love that age. Count me in. Um, Sarah, there's a by character in The Disappearance of Vanessa Shaw, but that's just part of their character, not exactly. It's just who they are. This is, and it's funny because I always joke. I mean, my entire cast in Hellscape, they're all either queer or bi. I do have a non-binary character, and I joke that I have my token straight people, right? Because I'm a queer writer and I write queer people. And yes, we need Tony Todd. And let me tell you, he's an amazing actor. This guy can pull off anything. I mean, he pulled off 2 different types of Klingons in Star Trek. And I love Tony Todd. There's just something about him. Poltergeist. It's mostly about how straight people react to ghosts. That's funny. That's funny. I tried to watch Amityville, the original Amityville, the other day, and only then did I realize just how bad it is. One movie I still have a really hard time with is the one with Linda Blair. Why am I losing that? Exorcist. But that's because I was raised Catholic, right? So movies with demon possession is an exorcism is really difficult for me sometimes. But my dad, when he saw The Exorcist, he didn't sleep for like 6 weeks. And apparently at the time, when I was little, because it came out when I was little, I was talking in my sleep at the same time every night. But he never heard it because he was always asleep before. So he was convinced I was possessed. Oh my God. It's a whole family story. Yeah, Inca has token straights, right? Final Destination. Yeah. The first Star Trek movie in the Kelvin timeline, he played the only Klingon there that had lines. And it took me a minute to realize it was him. And I loved that. My cast is similar to my friend group, a little bit of every background. There you go. Right. It's a thing. It's a thing. My babysitter let me watch The Exorcist with her when I was 5. I bet. But it's funny how some of us, when it comes to that, my oldest nephew, I used to babysit him a lot when he was like really little. And when I wanted to get stuff done and have him distracted, I would park him in his high chair with a snack in front of the television set, and I would put on Terminator. And I knew that I had like 90 minutes. I could do whatever I needed to get done because he would just sit there and watch. And I mean, I'm talking like, 18 months old. Loved this movie. It was like my son with Oprah. He was infatuated with Oprah, right? I need to start writing some of these stories about Dad because he was just so funny. So I will get a form up for you guys this week for sure. If you want to hit my my link tree and sign up for my newsletter, because I'll send the link out through my newsletter this weekend for sure. And we'll get some feedback and we'll start talking about some stuff that you guys want to talk about. Yes, I know Tracy's starting now, so we're going to get you all off to see her. And thank you so much for being here. This was so much fun. But yeah, definitely join my newsletter. I will be sending out updates on that. And I appreciate you all so, so much. Don't forget to take care of yourselves. Stay warm, y'all. and I will see you on Wednesday night. Love you to bits.